Hey guys, still here. Welcome back to Wargame Red Dragon. We're on Ash and Shadows, episode 17, and before I'm going to kick off this episode, you might realize that I sound different. That is because I have a new microphone. I'm now using a Blue Yeti mic. This is something I've wanted for quite a long time, and I hope it's going to improve the audio quality. Now, this is the first Blue Yeti or Blue Yeti type mic that I'm using, so it's going to take a little bit of time and a couple of videos maybe to get it right. So, if you have any tips on how to further improve it, or things you didn't like, things you did like, let me know in the comments. Mostly about audio quality. Now then, let's check how we're doing the Second Korean War. We have a battle going on in Taechon, and in Taechon we previously already had a small encounter, which is when those M60s were able to do some damage, but also take quite a few losses. Now, today, the situation is drastically different. We are no longer looking at just a couple of infantry units, but we're looking at infantry units of high quality and especially with high-end transports. These guys mostly come with the ZBL-08, Malyutkas, as well as ZPT-99s and APS, and BMP-3. These things are all very, very lethal, especially the BMP-3s with their ATGM. These guys also carry an ATGM. It is more lethal, it does more damage, but its range is far less. It's 2450 versus 2800. And this thing can still be fired on the move, this one cannot. Now, I'm hoping that I don't have too much AA. That could be something that saves me. I know that the UBI don't have it, Zanshi don't have it. These are further ATGM troops. The FN6 are AA, but they don't have too many of those, just 4. Then they have a couple of Igla N, 8 of these guys. They have the Sapori, the Concours, 8 mortars. Let's see, a couple of fighters. Yeah, this is not good. I don't like the Su-27PU circling around if I'm trying to bring in my own aircraft. Fortunately, I have something that might help me against the Su-27PU. Patriot missile batteries. 9.4 kilometers range, 95% accuracy, and if these things hit, then they are, well, I'd say they're all but guaranteed to get a critical hit. They are very, very likely to do a lot of damage. Now, as for terrain, I already showed you that Pyongyang is pretty defendable. You have this one bridge that's coming over the river. Foxtrot and Alpha and these zones here are far harder to defend, especially considering that there is very little in the sense of structures in these particular zones. I know that Foxtrot has some, Alpha has a few, you can even see them marked here on the map. But if I get engaged by a whole bunch of, let's say, Gvardeskoy or a bunch of Zanshi with their transports, and those autocannons are going to hammer whatever infantry I have in here. And I think the only ones who could survive are the Haebyung. These might be able to hold out long enough. Now fortunately, I have a lot of reinforcements that I can send this way. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Especially armor groups. Starting out with the 501st Tank Battalion. This is a new French battle group they're called in. We have a couple of Leclerc Series 2. 21 frontal armor, 22 AP on the gun. Very, very accurate. These guys are definitely going. Not in the least because they have initiative. They can still attack. Now then we have the Rama, which is a bunch of Caesar batteries. I'm not too convinced about why I would want them in Taechon. Yes, they can help with thinning out enemy infantry, but that's about it. One air group I especially want in there is the F-111Gs. These things have 6 1,000 kilogram bombs, and while they might not be terribly effective against the transports, they will do area damage as well as take out infantry fairly quickly. We also have the Dragoons, although the Dragoons did take quite a beating in a previous match. So I'm going to refit these guys and bring up full strength 24 tanks. The Super Hornets. I'm not sure if the Super Hornet can go toe-to-toe with an Su-20, what was it, 27PU. I might, however, be able to use them as a sort of a lure, so that the SU-25s, sorry, SU-27s come out to play and then get shot down by my Patriot batteries. Other units that I have, let's see, the Recon Company. We have Kutai. Again, it's infantry. It's not particularly useful in a situation like this. So I'm going to refit these. We have the RICM, bunch of Sagai and Mephisto. These guys have been brought up back to full strength, in case you're wondering, because I did lose quite a few of those Mephistos. I think I lost all of them, actually. The ERC-90s might be useful, but at least they can give me cohesion, which means more starting points and a couple of points over time. Now, mortars and K-55s I'm not going to deploy just yet. Krotal, as well as the VBCI Series 2 and Mistrals could be handy, dealing with those aircraft. That's the Recon. Sochong-su and Hebian Commandos. Tough call. I don't think I'm going to be using these. Mostly because the Hebian Commandos only have an ATGM, and while it's a very good ATGM, everything on the enemy team has an APS. So everything is going to be very easy at shooting down enemy ATGMs. Now we still have the 1st Airborne Regiment. I'm going to refit these because they lost a couple of those Hachikiyu. We have a resupply group. Speaking of resupplies, what do we have for FOBs? Because I would really like a FOB. Okay, we have 2 FOBs over here. Then the Tomcats, another long-range air-to-air solution. I think that between these, the Super Hornets and the Patriots, they should be able to make short work of those aircraft, allowing the F-111Gs far more mobility and effectiveness. Now I also have a good number of helicopters here, but I'm trying to keep these in a sort of reserve force to deal with gaps in my lines. So let's see what the matchup looks like right now. What I have right now still is, of course, those 4 battle groups. On my left-hand side I have 139 infantry units. Quite a few of those are Yebigun, which are not terribly useful. We have the M60A1 as well as the Leclerc. These things have 12 frontal armor, no APS. These things don't have APS either, but a lot more armor and a better gun. We have a lot of fire support vehicles, and they are mostly good at throwing out enemy or throwing off ATGMs. I don't think that's going to be too effective. I think we're going to have to heavily go for choke points. Anything else I can send that way? I think it's just the helicopters. Pretty much covered everything. Sochong-su, Recon Company. Oh, I can send the French, the 2nd RAI. It's going to give me a couple more Legionnaires, a bunch of Rima, HGMs, Elints, Servals, and the P4M MMP, which I used in the last match as well. Okay, let's go into Thechon. This is going to be an interesting and not at all easy fight. They have quite a few points before they get defeated. 5,500. So it's going to be a challenge to get that many kills. Here goes. Okay. Now, like I mentioned, holding on to sectors like these is complicated. It's not impossible, but it is tough to do. Foxtrot is even worse, because the only position that my infantry can take is these buildings over here, or these over here, but none of these have any good line of sight. Especially if you're in here, you won't have any shots at anything that comes down this road until they are right on top of you, and that could be a real problem. Now you could argue, if that's the problem, then don't stack up there, stack up here. Yeah, but they're probably going to be coming with a lot of forces right down that way. I think an easier position to defend is Tanshan. Holding off Tanshan with a couple of maybe Leclercs, as well as allowing further air support to come in from this way, might allow me to hold on to this sector. And this time I actually intend to hold it. and not like last time get completely overrun. So for that I'm going to need a couple of Leclercs. I'm going to need a reconnaissance unit. Let's go with something that has very good optics. K111 should do the trick. I want some infantry in here. A couple of Hebung Heavy. And maybe I'm going to give them a fob. Just to keep this as a resupply point. Then we have Pyongyang. This is where my main defense is going to come in. I'm going to have a line of tanks positioned along this tree line, and for the first couple of minutes of the match have them come to me. I'm not too eager to go out and meet them on their terms, because they have so many transports that it is going to be very, very difficult to keep them all down and get them all destroyed before they come to me. Now, thanks to my cohesion bonus and morale, I have a lot of income. But from the zones that I currently have, I don't have anything. So if I could hold on to either Alpha or Fox, that would be ideal. And I think Alpha might be the easier way of doing it. The question is, how long can I hold on to these? I'm going to park a command tank off into the edge of this sector here. So I can quickly evac it down this road. Oh, by the way, these guys need a reconnaissance unit. Oh, I already used that one. Okay, Elint then. VBL. I also want a Patriot. These things should cover a lot of territory. I want another Patriot over here. I want one... Oh, what to pick? One Tomcat. Which I cannot afford. Fine. Super Hornet it is. Yeah. Never mind. I'm going to go with infantry first. I need some way to hold on to these structures. And I think infantry for the moment is the best way of doing it. I might be able to resupply those. But that's going to be a challenge. I could position a fob here. That could work. Fobs respawn anyway. And that means that I can resupply these guys just with resupply trucks. I'm going to immediately park one next to the Patriot, you never know. Damn it, there's one thing I overlooked. Command vehicle here. That is unacceptable. There has to be a command vehicle here. Okay. Elint there, cargo's here, Leclerc there, the other Leclerc here. Offload these. The LVP-7s themselves are not particularly useful in a situation like this, because they don't really have any weaponry that can help me out. K111's not in cover at the moment. LVP-7's back, offload the Scorpion, get the Scorpion out of here. Income is 13. I'm going to try and neutralize their fob. That's a couple of points, as well as far few supplies for them to bring in. An M110. Yeah, might as well use that. I'm going to try and quickly get rid of their air support, so that I can bring in my own air support, the F-111s. So I'm going to call in a Tomcat first. Bring that thing over my own territory. I hope that the Su-27 catches it, in the sense that they spot it. And from there, let the Patriots deal with any aircraft that comes after my aircraft, after this Tomcat. Now, this is what I was worried about. They already have quite a few vehicles heading this way. So far, it seems like they have not either detected the Tomcat, or they decided not to take the bait. And yeah, they're still coming this way. Alright, once you're there, I need you to take out the fob. Helicopters. Okay, that's not really something I was expecting. Must have overlooked that. Okay, let's bring in the F-111G. I think they are here-ish. Let's see if I hit anything. Nope, they've been moving up a little bit further. This is what I was worried about. Oh, I did get a few of them. And they nailed it. Get the Tomcat away. Patriot 1 is acquiring. Patriot didn't get a hit so far. Oh, of course you shut it down. Come on, guys. Get a kill. There's one of the aircraft been shot down. This is what I was worried about. They're taking out my FOB, and they're doing it pretty quickly. So much so that these guys are going to have a very hard time holding onto these structures. That means that the command tank is not in a very good position to help out. I'm going to have some sort of hands-off AA solution here. Oh, they're out of range. These transports. I can't hit them. Yeah, that's going to be annoying. Can you deal with these? Just to quickly wipe them out? Yes, you can. One shot. Yep, kiss your FOB goodbye, because that thing is not going to be around for much longer. Let's drop a couple of 1,000 kilogram bombs down here. And meanwhile, the Heavy are going to have to deal with the transports up there. Here's the aircraft. No interceptors so far. I was able to take out a few of them, but not nearly as many as I was hoping for. Alright, I want another Leclerc. Yeah, the Hebian are good as dead. That means that I'm going to have to fold this command tank back. And if I do that, my income drops to +7, which is still rather respectable. But it's going to be a little bit less than what I'm hoping for, and will impact my ability to call in new forces. Now, with the command tank gone from over here, I open up this area of approach, this one. Actually, let's go over here. And, oh, hang on. Those are the HGM guys, the Hongjian. Let's start targeting some of these transports before they become a problem. What is that? That looks awfully much like artillery. Yep, I'd say that's a mortar. Come on, give me another Leclerc up here. The Leclerc so far are doing good work. They are seemingly quite capable of taking out these transports before the transports become a problem. Not all of them though. That was not a second too soon. And thankfully these things are all very easy to kill. But so are my sorry, not my aircraft. I was looking at the Super Hornet. So are my tanks. This thing in particular needs to go back for resupplies. It has to be repaired. Come on, get out of here. It's not safe to keep you around. Airstrike, F-111G. Oh crap. Yep, that's one of them down. Come on, wipe him out. It did drop. And wiped out 4 of their transports. Okay, I have one further bomber that I can use. Look at how little damage these things are taking. That's actually quite impressive. That's actually quite impressive. I thought these things would take far more damage than they have. Come on. Your gun is remarkably accurate, so let's make the best of it. There's another one. The other Leclerc was not able to escape. Damn. I really like those. Now they've taken over Foxtrot. Oh crap. There's a lot of them here. I could really use APS. Come on. Just a 20-pointer. Oh, there's another one. They're currently engaging my command tank. Command tank is fighting back. Unfortunately, it's not really designed to take on stuff like this. I mean, it can do it, but I'd rather not lose this tank. These damn HGMs are a significant problem. This is what I was worried about, and it's exactly going as I was expecting it would go. I'm having a hard time keeping my guys alive. So let's blend in some APS-capable transports. And in the meanwhile, start counter-battery options, because those mortars are starting to get quite annoying. Oh crap. Got another one. Push forward. Jesus, those things are amphibious, of course. Ooh, that was close. Now, at this point, I'm wondering, can you guys hear my cat in the background? For some reason, he's being quite vocal about it, and I wouldn't be surprised if the new Blue Yeti picks it up. Shit, he just took out my recon. Means that these guys are now mostly blind. I have 8 Atacams. What to do with 8 Atacams? If the targets would be sitting still, I'd be saying, yeah, let's use them. But not really this time around. Turn fire. Another HGM guy. Shit, they got another Leclerc. Okay, so they still need to go through 3,800 points. How many Leclercs do I have? 3, 4. So I already lost 4 of those. Okay. Hold. I need you to get repaired. You're fine. Okay, get back up to the front line. One thing I seem to have going for me is the fact that most of these guys are pretty blind. Damn it. I'm not really going to be able to hold on to this side of the river as much as I would like. We're going to have to fall back. And they have a convoy of vehicles coming down this road. F-111, I have a good one. Targets galore. Make them count. And we lost the F-111. See, these battles are getting increasingly difficult. Hold. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but we're not sticking on this side of the river. We are falling back and letting them come to us. We have a large mixture of forces, and they still have quite a few points to go through. Ooh, I thought that would be lethal. He's not looking too happy, but so far he's alive. And apparently the enemy AI does not really want to send out aircraft anymore. Right, where do we go from here? The VBCI have an autocannon that might be helpful in a situation like this. There's another kill. One advantage I have is that these guys are pretty terrible at spotting my tanks, especially if my tanks are in cover and basically firing from an ambush. Come on. Come on. Yeah, line of sight was broken. That goes both ways, by the way. I have no idea where they are or what they're bringing in. And what I also don't have is any defenses around Kaesong. So let's have a couple of... oh, I don't know. Let's go with the standard Habyung over here. Yep, they're still coming down here. Let's get a couple of kills. One. Plenty of that. More to come. Come on. Fall back. You've taken enough damage as is. One thing I really like about the Leclerc is that they are so incredibly accurate. 70% on a moving tank. That's impressive. Now they still have to go through 3,400 points. And we have 7 minutes left. I don't think that this is going to work out in one go. I think we're going to have multiple matches on this terrain. Hopefully with further reinforcements, because at the moment I am starting to run out. I want to see if they take the bait. Oh, hang on. That is not what I ordered. VBCIs. Jesus. Would you mind? This is my side of the river, damn it. I need a spotter over here. Just to try and see them before they reach this side of the river. Get that command tank back a little bit further. VBCIs, have some fun. 80% on an autocannon. Holy crap. That's the CDA 40 for you. We're still taking artillery fire from somewhere. Time to go on an arty spam fest of my own. 3,200 points. Yep, further infantry down here. Look at that. The VBCIs definitely have some potential. The only thing that they are not is amphibious. That might have been a bit much to ask for. Now, I don't believe that this is my smoke, so this is apparently the smoke of the AI. They are putting forth their own smoke screens in order to move up their infantry under a little bit of cover. And so far, it is working. Until my until my VBCIs join the fight. Now, can we see counter-artillery? Yes. Here. Doesn't have to be terribly accurate, I just want to get some damage in. Here comes a new group. Let's bring in 2 more Patriots. Oh, hang on, something's going on this side of the battle. Okay, 263 took a hell of a beating here. Still not seeing any fighters on their end. Doesn't mean they're not there. Come on. There they are. And they shot down another F-111. Stop the Patriots, stop the Patriots. And we did not get a kill. There's a kill. Bloody hell. Come on. Get him. Get him. That's the 3rd. And that would be the 4th. Su-27PU. Please, Patriots, get in range. Come on. Gotcha. Okay, so that's the entire air group killed. But at this point, I'm getting a little anxious about using further F-111Gs, because if I lose them, they are wiped out. So it's not really too much of a enticing prospect of bringing in further of those aircraft. Anyway, this is going to be 5 frontal armor versus 3 frontal armor with an autocannon that does 4. I should be able to survive that. You've taken a lot of damage. A couple of ERC 90s could help out here. Easy kill. 2,234 points left. Come on. Not a chance. They did take some damage, but it was quite light. I'm sort of ambushing these guys. Just as they're turning down here, coming around a little bit of a bend, and that's when they take a massive amount of damage from my vehicles here. Alright, bomb them. Nope, F-111 does not acquire. Fall back. We do not have a smoke screen. I refuse to lose these vehicles. What's going on here? They just brought in a lot of vehicles. Or sorry, a lot of infantry, by the looks of it. And I'm still seeing artillery rain down on my positions. Where's John here? General fire position. Yeah, it seems that these things are not able to launch their HGM. Or at least not yet. There's a few more. Wow. What got that kill? M60s are doing fine. We have a conflict going on here. ERCs are taking fire. Artillery fire, probably. Look at these guys roll in and fire their HGM at point-blank range. Alright, we have 70% of points, but in 40 seconds, I don't really see me getting 1,600 points. That's going to be a bit much. So, we're going to have to make do with the points that we have and try to get some more kills. It seems that they're quite eager to send in further reinforcements here. Let's keep that tank alive. This tank used all of its main gun and Browning ammunition. You must have been in a hell of a fight. I barely paid attention to this side of the map, but they got a lot of stuff. There we go. Mission over. Now, the 33rd Fighter Squadron has been destroyed. We got 3,800 points in kills. Losses, I'm estimating 500. 1,200! Holy shit. Okay, yeah, that's the infantry, the other infantry. 3 of the F-111Gs. That was... I'm not going to say worth it. We did take out half of their infantry. Especially the HGM and the AA. We took out 27 of those BMP-3 vehicles. Quite a decent amount of the ZBL-08s, but not as many as I was hoping. And then the 550s are dead. I think that these might have come in with a previous battle group, because I do not recall firing and killing ZDF-89s as well as 550s. And then, of course, 4 of the PUs are dead. But at grave cost to my own Air Force. I have 1 F-111G left. I'm going to have to refit this group. Lost 1 Tomcat, lost 1 Super Hornet. Not pretty. Soviets are putting up some stiff resistance over here. Now, I could try and hit them again, because at this point they're weaker. The BMP-3s... Actually, these things don't have APS, come to think of it. They don't have APS. A couple of AT guys. Where's the rest of the infantry? Here. Yeah, these things do have APS, and there's a lot of it. Considering sending in my helicopter groups and trying to take them by surprise, it might work, but I'm not sure if it's worth it. So no, for this episode I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to end the episode here. And once again, new mic. I might sound different from what you're used to. And I'm very much interested in your feedback on that. How do I sound? What do I need to change? Especially if you are more experienced with this type of microphone. Then any help, tips, recommendations are much appreciated. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon for the next episode. And until then, have a good one.